Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So a while ago now, I think it was, well, with the last update, Kabam has introduced that option to showcase your champions that you can show to your friends list and that your alliance mates can see and alliance officers, and then it in theory, well, probably in practice as well, helps to alliance officers plan the path and plan the defense, so on and so forth. However, well, just for example, ASR still hasn't started using it because they're still doing the screenshots, saved files, saved albums in the lineup, and I believe many kind of like top options, top alliances also haven't really transferred to it. So I'm not entirely 100% sure how it is helpful, how helpful it is to the people and what kind of like level and tier alliances are using this most, but also part of the reason why this option might not get used to as much as it potentially should, because it and definitely in theory is a very helpful tool to help the officers, is maybe a level of uncertainty. At least for me, I hadn't seen any video, anybody kind of like actually going through placing the champions in each category, check how it works, check if it overlaps. So I did want to do a test run with my own account. So I have a fairly big account with a lot of champions ranked, and it's also going to be, I guess, kind of tricky to figure out which champion would fit in where. For instance, Dr. Doom in essence, right? Dr. Doom is good for Alliance War attack, he's good for Alliance War defense, and he's good for Alliance quest. All of the things he's good for, and yeah, so where do you place him? But either way, so we're gonna start with a War Defenders, I suppose. But again, War Defenders is kind of like a trickiest placement, because even like a rank 3 Corvus, so I'm gonna put in all my rank 3 champions in there, because typically at least the Dr. Doom and Thing both get dropped on Alliance War defense. Again, Warlock could be considered a good defender, I'd say. I'm not going to place my 5-star Doom in there, because if anybody's going to play, if the Doom is going to get placed, that's going to be the 6-star rank 3. Same with Corvus. Again, Blade or, I don't know, Thor Ragnarok can be considered decent defender. Rank 5 Taskmaster, I feel we should put in defense, because he is a flow defender and he's maybe not as common of a rank up. Then Longshot is actually quite underrated defender in my opinion. Perhaps Medusa as well. Who else? Iron Man, Infinity War, rank 2, 6-star, sure, why not? What else you can? Havoc. Whoops, we sorted out Iron Man, Infinity War. What else we could place as a war defender? Heimdall for Flow Wars, because he's a flow defender. Mysterio, sure, and there's quite a lot of slots. It's actually going to be interesting to see how many of them are going to overlap anywhere and everywhere. So actually might end up being a bit more straightforward than I thought. Black Widow, Clairvoyant, sure, let's place her. Emma Frost occasionally goes there as well. MODOK is definitely a war defender. I'm going to place my Sabretooth there as well, but where's that MODOK? So let's place him down there, because obviously he's quite defense-centric. Stealthy can be a bit tricky of a defender, I suppose. Guillotine 2099 for sure. Wasp. What else could potentially be used well in defense? Maybe a little bit of Hyperion, and though he has a ton of counters, Magic, technically. So I'm kind of like actually ending up dropping in a large portion of my ranked up champions. Because Domino, why not? Domino is, has some defensive potential. I'm not going to put anybody that's below rank 5 as a 5-star or rank 2 as a 6-star. Anyone else should go on defense. I guess Captain Marvel movie version could do something on defense. Max out Silver Surfer, why not? Mr. Fantastic with the Wades. And is there anything else? I didn't put Sentinel, so I'm gonna put in Sentinel in there as well. And last spot could go to Archangel. These are easy defenders. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna place Archangel there. Okay, so let's save it in. Now I want to see if I can overlap, because obviously most of the champions that I nominated as defenders can also be used in Alliance War Attack and Alliance Quest. So for War Attack, obviously we're going to be looking for a bit different priorities. I'm going to be placing Doom definitely back up there, and in this case I'm actually going to place both Dooms. So in case if one of them shows as being used on defense, the other one should show still as being available. So perhaps that's kind of useful to... Again, my officers would know that I have both Dr. Dooms available, but still, so we're going to place in Thing, Nick Fury. Obviously the rank 3s can all go in there. Warlock is frequently used in attack. I feel that the Red Guardian can be useful with slow and never gaining buffs, I guess you could say. So I already have Corvus there, so no real point. Captain America Infinity War, definitely useful. Sorcerer Supreme, very good with her slow. Medusa for robots. Obviously Ghost is an attacker. Magic for flow wars. Havoc against Havocs or what have you. Human Torch, quite frequently used offensively these days in war for specific missions. I actually brought in Venom when we have to deal with big spider characters. Archangel actually also have used quite recently. I guess I'm going to put in my rank 3 Domino there as well. What else could be important for my alliance? Guilty in 2099, no crits. Rank 2 Red Hulk for some, again, specific matchup. She-Hulk. Black Widow, Clairvoyant. Oh, that's it? I already filled it up. So I guess I'm going to swap Black Widow Clairvoyant for Red Hulk there, because I think that's a bit more important. Stealth Suit Spidey could be quite important in some matchups, so I'm going to take that for Venom. And Omega Red, I guess, because Omega Red definitely is... Well, I'm not really great with him, but... Who would we swap out for Omega Red here? I guess one of the Dooms. They know I have two Dooms. So yeah, I think they're gonna leave that with this. And Alliance Quest, again, like Alliance Quest typically uses so many different champions. Obviously, okay, this is gonna be where the rank 5 Doom, I guess, is gonna come in, because normally you don't really bring in your rank 3 6 stars for most part, maybe aside from Corvus, because Corvus is definitely well worth mentioning there. Double, because Corvus runs AQ. What else I often use in Alliance Quest these days? Quake is very important to my... Ooh, I didn't mark Quake as Alliance War Attacker. The disrespect. I can swap it out for Domino, because I have honestly never used Domino in Alliance War Attack. Quake definitely has to be there. And there we go. And Quake also has to be here because Quake's fantastic for Dr. Doom boss. And what else is fantastic for Thing mini bosses. So there are quite few Alliance days when Quake is extremely important. I actually use Colossus quite a bit, because he can do buffed up lanes, he can do Major League, he can do Freezer Burn or Incinerate. He's very good for tunnel vision and a lot of things. So I'm using him quite frequently. Captain Marvel movie version obviously can be used quite well. Additionally, Nick Fury, why not? Do I use Red Guardian? Red Guardian can kind of do well with Doom and some other things, so let's leave him there. What else is in my AQ toolbox? Toolkit? I don't know. Who I often use Alliance Quest. Black Widow Clairvoyant is quite good for Alliance Quest. And what else? She-Hulk can deal with some of the fights. Who's kind of like frequent Alliance. Sometimes I put Ghost in there. Night Thrasher is quite frequent Alliance Quest champion for me. Again, because he can deal with Spider-Man characters and evades in general. He can do Freezer Burn or Incinerate lanes. He can do buffed up lanes. He can do the debuffer line, well, where you need Distract, I think is the name of the node, Distract lanes, and a whole bunch of others, so he's quite useful. I guess Silver Surfer sometimes gets used in AQ. Very rarely, but sometimes. Have used Sorcerer Supreme, which is quite alright. Venom, definitely use Venom for Spider Length, that's quite useful there. Archangel, I actually sometimes use Archangel for Can't Stop, Won't Stop, as well as Thing. And actually, I almost forgot my pretty much the biggest AQ MVP for when I'm not running Suicides, typically is Hyperion, because you can do so many different lanes as well. I absolutely love bringing Hyperion in AQ. And other than that, is there anything specific that I want to put up there? Don't think there really is, I guess. The Showcase Nick Fury, Doom is a 5-star. What else is frequently used in AQ? At least for the paths that I typically need to deal with. Then again, since I joined ASR, I have been doing a lot of different lanes, so don't really have kind of like set paths to do overall. Stealth Suit Spidey, why not again for the Thing mini boss? The Thing mini boss is a huge pain. And I know who else I want to put in there. This is actually very confusing. Come on, last spot, last spot. What are we going to put in the last spot? I guess you can put in Red Hulk. I don't know. Let's put in Red Hulk. But yeah, so what I want. So when anybody would kind of go, I actually haven't and never also checked my alliance mate champions, so I don't know if they have actually designated. What does this little? Oh, 90 slots, so it kind of auto ends. Okay, cool. So now if it, okay, that's fair enough. And let's see if my alliance leaders and officers have selected these, because I have actually never checked him yet. So let's check our alliance leader. We are view alliance champions, and it's empty. So yeah, we're really not using. Let's check out Frenchie. Frenchie has monster profile. So let's see what's gonna happen there. View alliance. Oh, he has selected his ones. Actually shows kind of top ward attackers, top defenders. That's fair enough. But yeah, again, I don't know, because I still find screenshots kind of better, just because obviously there you have the overview of all of the champions, and it's not significantly. Maybe there are times when our officers are looking for like diversity placements and things like that, and you can't see that here. You can just see the champions that I quote unquote have nominated to be my war defenders. Quite often, especially when the rosters are bigger, when new tactics start, for instance, for Stubborn, a lot of us got given like a list of champions basically that we were missing. Let's say in our alliance, in our battle group, we were missing kind of like 7 champions that our officers wanted to place on defense, but nobody had ranked up. So basically in between 10 of us, all of those 7 champions got ranked to fill those slots, and there is still kind of like a lot of planning that this tool kind of doesn't offer, I guess, but maybe that could just be for kind of like bigger alliances. So I generally wanted to ask you guys, are you using this alliance champion, profile champion tool in your alliance? How has your experience been in it? Whether you think it is fine as it is now, or perhaps they should expand on it and let people just kind of like view the entire profile champions as well, because it's only available to your officers and friends anyways. So perhaps it might be a better idea to just kind of like let people view all of the champions. Or I don't know, because currently, yeah, I can see how it could be helpful, but at the same time, it's more limiting than going through the screenshots on, let's say, lineup, or going through the albums and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure that it's kind of there yet. I like the idea, like the direction where they're heading with this and it could potentially work extremely well and could make the game a lot more kind of like hassle-free for officers. But at the same time, I don't think it gives enough to the officers to actually work as a full-time planning tool, if you will. But that is just me. So once again, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know if your alliance is using these alliance champion functions or profile champion function, and if not, or if you are using but still have anything to improve, or basically just leave a comment, tell me what you think, what you would improve on the system, how would you change it if you're not using it, or if you're using it, let me know how it goes. But that will pretty much do for today. So since you are stuck around thus far, I'm going to show you a bit of Baby Yoda, and I'm just going to kindly ask you to hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya!